Have you read about the history of your people? The origin of civilization starting with black people? Come on, come on. Do you believe it? You do. The Caucasian people are a new people on our planet. And they were given time to rule, but not to rule in the way of God, but to rule opposite until the coming of God. When you research, you'll find that the pre-Adamites are the aboriginal people of the earth. Aboriginal means from or away from. Original means they were here from the beginning. Do you know who they are? Caucasian people are not called aboriginals. It's the darker people of the planet that are called aboriginals. Listen carefully now. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to us, they call me a black nationalist. He didn't say he was or he was not. He just said black is not national. Black is universal because everything started in darkness and then came out into the light. So if everything started in darkness and came out into the light, as you got light out of darkness, you got white out of black. Wait. The Caucasian people are a new people on our planet. And they were given time to rule, but not to rule in the way of God, but to rule opposite until the coming of God. This is not racism. There are white people who are knowledgeable that you are the father, that you are the producer. Two white people cannot produce yellow, much less brown. And black is just impossible. But out of the black comes the brown, the yellow, the white. Respite me till the day when they are raised. It's you. You are the one, we are the ones that have been deceived all over the planet. We are at the bottom of the human family. The yellow man, as he's called, he's higher up the totem pole than we are. Go look in the schools as they test you in math and science. Even the whites today are behind. It's the Asians that are number one. The yellow, the brown, the Latino brother, and the black. We're at the bottom. Come on. So you and I and we, the darker people of the world, have to be raised. See, you say, I'm Mexican. Okay. That's a name you call yourself. Who's ruling Mexico? It's not the Mexican that is descended from the black and the Indian, is it? Who rules? Who rules in Colombia, in much of South America? You see them from Argentina. Now we have in Bolivia, Evo Morales. He's of the indigenous people. We have in Venezuela, Hugo Chavez. You have now the original rising, but they're rising against white world supremacy. Talk to me. If I'm speaking the truth and you know it is the truth, then don't get upset. You see. Now, I want to make a few quick points, because from the Genesis it talks about the coming of the Son of Man. The Quran does not use that language. The Bible does. Son of Man. As it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be at the coming of Son of Man. When Sodom and Gomorrah, a homosexual twin city in the Middle East, was destroyed by God, the scripture says, as it was in the days of Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah, so shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. We're looking at a future time now, but a time when just the condition that caused God's destruction of the wicked in the days of Noah and Lot, that will be present in the world when the Son of Man comes. How was it during the days of Noah? The Bible says every imagination of the heart was continually to do evil. How was it in the days of Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah? The people had turned the natural use into something unnatural. So the Quran asks the question, what is this? That's God asking the question. What is this? A man coming to another man with lust in his heart as he should the female. Now look at our world. The world in which we live. The world that is not of God. Our little girls are falling on each other. Our boys the same. Just a bulb. It can't interfere with this light, that's for sure. Are you all right? Yes, sir. I am too. Yes, sir. Now, the Son of Man is coming. In the 24th chapter of Matthew, it gives you his direction. He's coming out of the east, even unto the west. Those of you who are high masons and shriners, see, the worshipful master, where does he sit? In the east. But he's facing the west. What's in the west? In the north country. It's a master architect that was hit in the head by some evildoers and is buried in a shallow grave. So Matthew says, as lightning shines from the east even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For wheresoever the carcass is, a dead person, the body of a once great and living people, there shall the eagles be. And they've picked his flesh. And Ezekiel sees us as now dried bones in the valley. Would it disturb you to know that you are the virgin, that a great son is going to come out of you? You only think of a virgin as a female that has never been touched sexually by a man. But a virgin is also a people that have never had a true connection to God. And, and the Holy Ghost shall come upon her. And she will be conceived of a child whose name shall be called Jesus. You are the people. And it is that God would visit you under the title Son of Man. How did he become a son of man? Ever since the fall of Adam, human beings, mainly the people of color, have died mentally under the influence of the Caucasian world. Come on. Did you get hit in the head? Something happened to your head. What do you mean something happened to my head? Are you the ancient builders of civilization? Have you read about the history of your people? The origin of civilization starting with black people? Come on, come on. Do you believe it? You do? What's the sign that it is true? Barack Obama accepted the oath of office standing on the steps of the Capitol, built by, he's now living in the White House, built by, how in the hell could you build that? And build the mansions in the South for the slave master. and teach the white woman how to cook and dress her in silk and satin while you were in burlap, if you didn't know the art and the culture of civilized people. But what happened to you? You have been put to death. So you have eyes, but you don't see. You have ears, but we don't hear. We have a tongue. We can't speak because we have not heard, because we do not see. This Jesus, when he comes, he opens the eyes. See, just your being here, the few minutes that you've been here, eyes coming open now, come on. And I watch you. You have been listening. Your ears. Oh, you would like to sleep, I know, but you're kind of wide awake. You're hearing. And that means you'll soon be speaking what you're hearing. The blind, the deaf, and the dumb, and a man who's living on a horizontal level. See? You are just like the corpse that's in the funeral parlor. Somebody dresses it. Somebody washes it. It don't wash itself. Somebody moves it because it can't move. That's the way we are. You didn't dress yourself. Somebody somewhere in the world made these clothes as though we can't tailor, as though the cotton that we picked can't grow for us, that we could turn it into lint and cloth and make our own garments, as though the cow can't give us its hide that we can fix our shoes, though it was a black man who revolutionized the shoe industry. Look at yourself. You once were a builder, and now you're a beggar, looking to the white man to do for you what you could get up and do for yourself. Now, he's the Son of Man, because ever since we've been down, we've been longing to get back up. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that whatever nature desires for us that we are deprived of, soon the nature, the law of nature, will bring forth from the womb of a woman a child born to satisfy a natural need that we have been deprived of. What have we been deprived of? Knowledge, wisdom, understanding, life, liberty, the true suit of happiness, freedom, justice, equality, building a home for yourself, family life, brotherly love among us as a people. We've been deprived of all of that. And you do long for that. You long to see yourself in a position that you can dream of, but you haven't actualized it. So when Brother Barack rose and said he wanted to run the house. I mean, I was one of the doubters. Not that he ain't qualified. I said, some of you will say, oh, I knew he was going to be president. Yeah, right. If you know this world like we who've been in it long enough know it, we didn't believe that our brother was going to make it. But he made it, didn't he? How did you feel? I mean, just be honest. How did you feel when you woke up or went to sleep the night of the 4th of November and we watched that TV and the votes were coming in? And at about 11 o'clock, Barack Hussein Obama. Notice the name. Not Jim Dandy, Harry McGillicuddy, John Jones, Lucius Jackson, but Barack Hussein Obama, 44th President of the United States of America. I'm sitting at the TV, me and Khadijah. I look at our people, I see you rejoicing, and I'm crying because I love you and I want to see you lifted. And when I see that Barack has lifted you from where you were to where you are and given you hope and possibility, I weep for joy because I know this is a genie that can't be put back in the bottle again. We're on the move now. We're on the rise now. Respite me till the day when they are raised. Now you being raised degree by degree. And the end of their world is here now. So last Sunday I said Barack Obama inherited the fall of America. He inherited the collapse of her institutions. He inherited the end of her world. Now, there's some work for us to do. Last week, I talked about the international bankers and how they plotted against America from Europe. The Rothschilds, the Warburgs, some of these that have recently collapsed their fathers, international bankers. You may not have known it, but it's against the Constitution for anybody to print or coin or mint the money of the United States of America except the U.S. Congress. But these international bankers with some treasonous senators on Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia plotted and set up the Federal Reserve Act. And on December the 23rd, 1913, a law was passed in Congress that violated the Constitution, that gave international banking families the right to print the money that you have in your pocket. I have a document that shows how America got from $1,400,000,000 in debt in 1913 to now $65.5 trillion in debt. Listen to this. How many of you own your home or are buying your home? Would you raise your hands, please? Okay. Did you know that the debt of America is more than the value of every building that is on 3,000 by 2,000 square miles called the United States of America? As I said last week, right now the FBI building is up for sale. The Drug Enforcement Agency has already been sold. And what others are doing, foreign companies buying up taxpayer dollar buildings and leasing them back to the government. America is broke. Very, very broke. And no matter how much hope you have in the stimulus package, I'm here to tell you what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. He said that foreign wars and divine plagues are destroying the economy and the American way of life. Now, it rained quite hard yesterday and today. And see, God, the one who makes rain, hail, snow, and earthquake, he hasn't let up since Barack got in. In fact, the plagues are coming harder and faster. So how can you think a stimulus package is enough when one disaster, tornado wiping out a town, in Oklahoma a fire about to burn up a whole town, floods, global warming? The messenger would not buy anything on the East or West Coast because he said it's going to be pushed in to the center. Now Mr. Gore is saying that as the poles begin to warm up and the Arctic area begins to melt and it builds the water on the East Coast and the West Coast, it begins to flood out the coastline. What did the Quran say? It said that Allah would curtail her of her sides is working today. His world is finished. And if you stay a part of it, you go down with it. Don't you think that the enemy is not plotting to take the people that God is after down with the enemy? Do you know that you are being held right now as a hostage? You know when somebody takes a hostage, they hold the hostage in the line of fire so that the person who's firing will see the hostage and miss the real one that they're shooting at. You say, well, how am I a hostage? Ain't nobody got me. Oh, yeah. If they got this, they got you. Do they have you? Look what the scripture says. Shall the prey be taken from the mighty, and the lawful captive be delivered? See, you are lawful captive. The 13th Amendment made you a citizen. Ain't nobody ask us nothing. Did you vote to be a citizen? You didn't, did you? Let's make the citizens. Excuse the language, but that's the way they talk. Let's make the citizens. We're going to amend the Constitution. They were 3/5 when we were arguing about representation. Now we're going to make them citizens. But we got a catchphrase here. What's the catchphrase? Don't get charged with a felonious charge that you are found guilty of, then all your citizenship reverts to slave status. So when you go to jail, whether you're innocent or guilty, and they ask you to plea on a felony, they come at you and say, well, if you plead, we'll give you this. If you plead, we'll give you that. But once the felony is by your name, you are no longer a citizen. You are deprived now. So they work you for the industrial complex that's tied to the prison. You get nothing, and they're making money off of you. Then they turn you into a sissy and inject you with AIDS. So you come out of jail messing up your girlfriend with your stuff that you got while you were incarcerated. Oh, yeah. My son told me to drink some water. I think I should. Now, look. When the Federal Reserve Act was passed, then banking families print the money. The dollar used to be backed by silver. If you look at the dollar years ago, it used to be called a silver certificate. It said pay to the bearer on demand. $1 in silver. You don't have silver in circulation today. That mess that you call a quarter, half a dollar, that ain't no silver, brother. Used to be. Not now. No silver. Nothing backing the dollar. So when Abraham Lincoln decided he was not going to allow the bankers in America, not Federal Reserve, now just bankers, to loan him the money to fight the Civil War, he produced greenbacks. It didn't have nothing backing it but faith in your government. And he angered the international bankers, namely the Rothschilds. After that, he was shot to death in the Ford Theater. And he escaped in a route that was already prepared. And then in a barn. Now just think about it. A man in a barn, nobody in the barn but him, all these soldiers outside the barn. He's in the barn with nothing but his weapon. Then they burned the barn down with him in it. Well, after the body's all charred and fixed up, they bury him in a grave right down in Maryland. But recently the family wanted to exhume the body, so I read. And high officials, somebody, would not permit it because Wilkes Booth was a patsy and there was a conspiracy inside the government. Do you know what happened to John Fitzgerald Kennedy? You didn't know? Oh. See, John, JFK, our first Catholic president. John was the most charismatic of the presidents and had great support from the American people, and he felt that he could defy the international bankers and get away with it. He wasn't just killed because he was favoring some rights for black people. The president has power to just, with an executive order, make a law. I'm almost finished. Executive Order 11110, signed into law early 1963. Where with the stroke of his pen, he took away the power of the Federal Reserve to print the money. And he, John Kennedy, boy, this is something. He put $4 billion into circulation in $2 and $5 denominations, but all $4 billion was backed by silver. 6 months later, like it was with Lincoln, he was shot down in Dealey Plaza. You see, the international bankers must not be defied because they run presidents and kings. You didn't hear me. Did you see the trilogy, The Godfather? How many of you saw The Godfather? The third one, where the Catholic bank, see, it was a bank, wasn't it? And the Pope himself that was coming in was not the friend of the bankers. What happened to the Pope? They gave him some tea. John Paul the first, dead in a few days. John Paul the second. Let me tell you something. These wicked people, they don't give a damn about you and me if you're going to interfere with their takeover of the world. Did you know that without the knowledge of Congress or the American people, President Bush met with President Fox of Mexico and the Prime Minister of Canada, and they're talking about merging the three economies and the politics, and have already printed, from what I'm reading, new money to replace the dollar. It's called the Amero, A-M-E-R-O. The American people don't know. They want to build a superhighway from Mexico all the way to Canada. What are you dealing with? See, you're dealing with Satan, who has blinded the people, deceived Congress. That's why I say to Brother Barack, you better have another source from which you gain your intelligence, lest you end up like Colin Powell. What happened to Colin Powell? They falsified intelligence and fed it to a black man who could be trusted. And when he went before the United Nations, he told that FBI man, you sit behind me, because what I'm saying is what you're giving me. And Colin Powell ruined his reputation by lying to the world that there were weapons of mass destruction sitting up in Iraq. The devil is a liar. He's a murderer. He's an international bandit. What do you think? Do you think they went to war in Iraq because Saddam Hussein was a dictator? You see how Satan works? He always gives a noble motive to what he's about to do. That man over there gassed his own people. Well, hell, if that's the case, every damn president in the United States should be killed for what they did to the Native Americans, for what they've done to us under the flag of the United States of America and under their laws. Maybe killed is too strong a word, but set down. But they killed Saddam. And what was it that they were after? $30 trillion worth of oil in the second largest oil reserve in the world. Now Barack, he's messing up something. Now, I'm only telling you. See, he loved Abraham Lincoln. Please, brother, please. He mentioned Lincoln, he mentions Kennedy. Please, brother. No, I mean, he's going to do what he got to do. But they are prepared to do what they always do. $30 trillion. They've been fighting over the last few years to get the government in Iraq to make a deal over how the oil revenue is going to be distributed. They ain't got that arrangement yet. And do you know what Obama said? We're coming out in 18 months. We do not want your oil. We want a stable democracy. Somebody's upset. Somebody's upset. So the violence is escalating again in Iraq now. But America's troops are coming out. But he's sending them to Afghanistan. Now, you that don't read news, you are BET. These silly sitcoms and reality shows. This is where your silly head is. The whole damn world falling down around you, and all you can look at is a foolish reality show. Respite me till the day when the niggers can be raised, but we gonna keep them down. So now he's pulling the troops out of Iraq, sending 30,000 and maybe more to Afghanistan. And I mentioned last week that Afghanistan is now America's new Vietnam. I'm going to close. You see, the American people have been deceived by these satanic forces that control the media. He just won. He just won. It's a group. But their minds are to control you, me, us, not just you. Little white people, little Chinese, little Mexicans, little Indians, all being controlled by the way they manipulate the news and keep your mind revolving around gossip and slander. Did you hear what that boy Brown did to Rihanna? Well, that ain't nothing new. You just left your husband, he beat the hell out of you. Or maybe you turned the tables and beat the hell out of him. But domestic violence is the order of the day. But it's just something to talk about. 24 hours of cable TV, they gotta fill it up. And they keep feeding you and me filth and foolishness and slander and gossip. I love my little brother Flavor Flav. No, I do. He's my little brother. But look how he's being used. See? Do you think making money means you're right? So because we're multimillionaires by calling our women that we're right now because we can wear all the bling bling and all of that, does that make you right? Satan got us.
I know you enjoyed it, and if you enjoyed this like how I enjoyed this lecture, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification button so that anytime I upload any great content, you will be notified. Thanks for watching. I'm always your guy, De-Graft Amoako.